Ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Seen Beyond and Through with Monty. Right before you is the singer Keke Wyatt. For the past day or so, Keke has made news, but for all the wrong reasons. And what I'm going to do is that I'm going to play a videotape showing you why she made news for the wrong reasons. But I need for you to pay attention to certain points. And that is, she's going to bring up how blacks are not the only ones to be oppressed. She's going to throw in the Jews. She's going to throw in the Mexicans. And she's going to mention something about biracial people, how they're made to feel like shit by black and white people. And she's going to call an openly gay man a sweet sugar. Now, those points I'm going to touch on, but I want you to hear the video first, and then I will come back with my commentary about the video.
Real world, in reality, black people have been, segregated, persecuted, hunted down, killed, stolen from, humiliated. Can you let me finish? Because you won't let me finish. When you talk, I have been nothing but quiet and respectful. I have been nothing but quiet and respectful to you. I have been nothing but quiet and respectful to you. So can you let me talk? I don't understand.
Okay, pro-black. All right, praise God. Go ahead, sweet sugars. I'm not all right, because, I don't understand, we biracial, right? Now, we love everybody, but then you got your certain black folk that just... Because you are so pro-black, and it's okay to be pro-black.
Well, if you're not even letting me talk, so I don't even understand where you are, because I feel like you're being sarcastic. And I'm just trying
being sarcastic.
So can you let me talk?
You have to understand, black people are not the only people that have been oppressed.
So if you would let me talk, that would be...
ones. Jewish people have been oppressed, okay? Well, I can keep going. I'm biracial, damn it. We oppressed because black people that made us feel like white people make us feel like shit. You don't know that life. You don't know that. So if you want me to be an ignorant, I will tonight. I don't want to go there.
I'm not sure. I think you're
a cool dude, but I think you need to understand, sugar, that there is more to life than just being.
Okay. So you heard what appeared to be a drunk Keke Wyatt talking. She seems like she was a bit inebriated. But let me tell you something. That's no excuse. Because many times alcohol brings out what's truly on your heart and in your mind. So let's talk about some things first and get to some facts. And this video here is not to speak down on anyone or not to down any group, but I'm going to bring you facts. She brought up that blacks are not the only people oppressed. And she brought in Mexicans, Jews, biracials like herself. But let's talk about Mexico first and Mexicans first. Here's the thing. You have to be very knowledgeable. You must know history before you speak on things. And this is the reason why I'm not a big fan of celebrities speaking on historical matters, because in most cases, 99% of the times, they do not know what they're talking about and they get things all wrong. You need to be knowledgeable about the subjects before you speak. Okay, let me just tell you something. The vast majority of black people in America, that's 97% of us, have a legacy that goes back to slavery. The vast majority of Mexicans or Hispanics have a legacy here in America that goes back 40 years. That is a completely different history. Black people, unlike majority Hispanics, have gone to slavery, black codes, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, the civil rights, the crack cocaine epidemic. We're talking about the welfare reform, which made the black father get out of the home, thus destroying the black family. That is a completely different history and legacy, which you cannot bring in Mexicans or Hispanics into what black people have gone through historically. Then she brings up the Jewish people. Okay, let me just tell you one thing. The Jews own the media. They own the banking. They own the TV corporations. They don't need a nitwit like this speaking up for them. They don't need my black ass or her biracial ass speaking up for them. They are very capable of doing this themselves. Now, she said they have been oppressed. Okay, they own the banking. They own the media corporations. But here's another thing. Jews were given a country. America, since the 1940s, have given Israel, a mostly Jewish state, $1 billion a year. America signed a MOU agreement to provide $38 billion to Israel from 2018 through 2028. So therefore, they are getting more than reparations. Blacks haven't even gotten their 40 acres and a mule. Blacks have gotten no reparations at all. But yet, through all of what they control, it's put them at the very echelon of the power head. So once again, right there, you're comparing a group that has been handsomely compensated yearly by America to a black group of people who haven't gotten the 40 acres and a mule, and to be honest with you, no type of reparations. So then there's no comparison right there. Let me just tell you one thing too. Now she says that biracials are being oppressed by blacks and white. Well, it didn't stop her from having 9 babies by a black man if she's so oppressed by blacks. She married black twice. She could have married Asian. She could have married Indian. She could have married any other man but a black man. But she has 9 babies by a black man and has been married twice to a black man. What tells me, if that's really the case of blacks oppressing biracials, she must enjoy being oppressed. Now, remember when she said sweet sugar and the men were chuckling, they were laughing? Christopher Milan is an out proud gay black man. I find that term to be very derogatory, very condescending, and homophobic, to be honest with you. She should have known better, of all people, and I'm going to explain why. He's a grown man. I believe he's in his late 30s. You don't refer to a man sweet sugar. How can anyone not see that that is a homophobic reference right there? And he was being very respectful towards her. She kept talking over him. She used a gay slur towards him, sweet sugar. At no point did I ever hear him refer to her anything out of her name. And she was drunk. She looked to be drunk and intoxicated. I do not know why they didn't cut her off. But he held it together very well. Now here's the thing about sweet sugar, where she should have known better. Because her own brother is family. He's gay. And it just to show you that a lot of times people can still harbor homophobic tendencies and agenda, even if family members are, because they've been brought up to believe that if they are straight, they are quote unquote normal. Even if they stabbed somebody before, they stabbed a husband like years ago and was indicted. But that's a different story. But many times in heated situations, in very intense situations, their homophobia will come out, even if they have a family member who's gay. Well, she's a bag of works, to be honest with you. And also, it didn't stop her brother from marrying black, if they're so oppressed by blacks. So, she's extremely problematic. And one thing I noticed, she had a lot of like anger that was directed towards when Christopher Milan brought up how blacks were oppressed. She had a lot of anger, it seems, at him stating that. No doubt about it, that's anger at black people. And this is too bad because, I'm not for kicking biracials out of blackness. But let me just tell you one thing. When she does things like that, when biracial people do things like that, it doesn't make things easier for us to try to unify and come together. I'm not for claiming biracials as black, as I told you once before. However, I'm not for kicking them out. I kind of allow people to claim that they're black or identify as black as how they will. I can go with a black person and a white person to challenge that person being black. But when it goes like beyond that, it's a different story, and that's a whole different story too. I'm focusing on this right here though. And black people and biracial people like her, the black and white mix, we have a common enemy, and that enemy is white supremacy and racism. So I don't really know what her anger was or her resentment was towards black people and how she came out. Alcohol or not, it's there. The alcohol or the intoxication, which I suspect, simply brought it out. Because I've dealt with many alcoholics, and one thing, you cannot reason with them. It's very difficult to reason with them in that drunken state or when people are inebriated. And she just could not be reasoned with. So she'll feel the heat for a while. And I looked at her page and I noticed that people were giving her hell. Which she deserves, to be honest with you. Because Christopher Milan was nothing but courteous to her. And the way that she behaved on there, I believe she's like 37, 38, 39, 9 children. It was very childish. When people talk over you, they do not allow you to get your point across. It's because they're afraid of being defeated. So therefore they use all that fake bravado or fake confidence to try to blur and block you out. But, after this incident, I was not a fan of hers, won't be a fan of hers. You guys can have her. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that was another edition of Steam Beyond and Through with Monty, and I will see you beyond and through.